What's up, gays, straights, and other days? It's Molly. I'm back with another episode of Lady in Mystery, and we left off last when we heard a screaming wife. Not our screaming future wife, different wife, so I care slightly less, but let's go investigate anyway. Everyone got flustered and ran to the main building, but no guest could open the door of the missus's room. Hwang Jong-nam flung off his shoes and ran inside the room with Hai-Nyeon. 2 shoes were flying off the other way, and then the door was closed. Woo-sung, Joo-hee, and I had to just wait outside, not knowing what to do. After a while, Hwang Jong-nam and Hai-Nyeon, those names in a row are... okay, came out of the room, giving a sigh and smoothed down their chests. I think she just saw an illusion. Was it really an illusion, young master? She said she saw an assailant. But it was quite odd how Hai-Nyeon asked. An assailant? The missus passed out after seeing an assailant breaking into her room? Nothing's broken here, and the floor is too clean for the room that the assailant just broke in. It's not like the assailant would take off their shoes before they broke in. I'm pretty sure that she just saw an illusion. I think my wife is just shocked by what happened to my father. But it's a big deal if that was a real assailant, dumbass. They might be related to what happened last night. And Hwang Jong-nam finally got mad. My goodness, are you talking about that theory again? You made me rub my father's body for your religion. Oh my god, phrasing game, please, no, stop. But you saw that there was nothing. I wish I could unread that. You should just leave if you're gonna keep doing this. Do you not know that you're insulting my father? He was about to punch me if I had said one more word, so I just stepped back. And the hunchback gobshoy came running to the main building later. Is Mrs. Wang okay? Hwang Jong-nam has slanted eyes which made him look a little mean, but like a master, like a servant. What? His servant Gobshoy seemed like he's hiding something because of his eyes as well. As Gobshoy carefully asked, Hwang Jong-nam looked at him for a while and slapped him out of the blue and kicked his stomach. Don't just come at all if you're gonna be this late, you useless bastard. You'll only show up after I die. Sir. It's all because you made this crappy liquor for my father. He kept wanting to drink more ever since then. He kept dying of alcohol poisoning, you son of a gun. What are these sentences written so weird? The dead master kept wanting to drink more before he died? I wanted to ask more details, but I couldn't get closer since Hwang Jong-nam was beating Gobshoy everywhere. Oh, jeez, okay. I was looking at Hwang Jong-nam for a while and went out of the main building for now. I found that assailant right after I came back to the kitchen. What? When I came back to where I was, the kitchen door that is supposed to be locked was open somehow. The door? When I got surprised and ran towards it, that one tin cup with jade that Hwang Pa Guang was gone from a wooden dishwashing bowl. Okay, words. There were traces of water drops on the floor. The water must have been dropped when the thief stole the cup. The water drops were let outside the door. The water drops from when they stole the cup haven't dried yet. They just stole it right now. Cool. Am I walking into another ending? What happened? When I ran out right away, a black shadow jumping off the wall got surprised and looked back at us. There, brother. Thief! There's a thief! Stop right there! We were shouting, running towards them. People inside the house freaked and got out. But they didn't know where to look, so they were just looking around. Why don't you follow us, dumbasses? In the meantime, I stepped on Woo-sung's back and jumped off the wall. Okay, hardcore parkour, gotcha. The black shadow was heading to the mountain, with that tin cup under their arm. There! Stop! You thief! Oh, what? Joo-hee followed me and jumped over the wall. I mean, she does have experience. Then she started to run ahead, grabbing her skirt. Wait for me, dumbass! Come on! I and Woo-sung quickly followed her. The mountain road was covered with all kinds of vines and young leaves, as if no one has used this road for a long time. There were lots of wild berries in the bushes, and the vines were stretched everywhere from the ground, so it was not easy to track the thief at all. The assailant in black clothes seemed to be familiar with this road. They were finding the way much easier than us. After chasing for a while, the distance between us and the assailant became completely far apart. Well, the distance between me and the assailant, to be exact. I thought Joo-hee was ahead of me. Fine, okay. Woo-sung and Joo-hee chased them much further than me, but I started to get behind. Oh, I'm out of shape. Never mind. What should I do? Ah, shit. Okay. Well, the way I see it is this. Woo-sung is bigger than me, and he'll catch him before I do. If I keep chasing... What's that gonna do if I keep chasing when we already... It would be different if I was the only one giving chase, because then I'd have to catch up. And I feel like I'm gonna pop along if I keep going any further. Look, I just really want this route to go well, okay? I'm gonna go back and consult with someone, because there's really no point with me carrying on this chase when Woo-sung and Joo-hee already got it. Let's just go back home for now. There's no guarantee that we're going to catch the assailant even if we keep chasing them, and I know I'm not going to be any help catching them. I'm out. You should keep chasing them, Woo-sung. So, Miss Juhi. What? I was gonna ask Juhi to come back with me, but as soon as I saw Juhi's angry face, I just shook my head. Oh, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I'm gonna go back because my stubby little legs clearly can't keep up. She wouldn't go back with me even if I asked. Juhi started climbing up the mountain again without answering me, and Woo-sung grabbed the twigs again after nodding, and I almost slid down the road and headed back to the house. Okay. Oh, music's back. Huang Pao Guang's house was so disturbed like a beehive poked by someone. Who's poking beehives? Everyone was just shouting, an assailant? Where? And kept running around the yard like morons. I had no idea where Huang Zhongnam, Han Yun, or Gab Shui went. All the servants were pouring out at once, so I couldn't find them at all. Then I came up with a voice. Oh, hello. I'm thinking of loading my luggage and leaving when Butler Zheng arrives. Until then, I should be hiding inside the main building. Ooh, I know we're in the middle of a case, but okay. You can always come to my room. Leader Kong is in the main building. I headed to the main building right away. Look, Woo-sung and Juhi got this. Let me have this. I felt a little weird walking around the house without permission during the day, but I guess it wouldn't matter since the whole house was disturbed and distracted either way. Jesus, Chimes, calm down! According to Juhi, it was the third room. I arrived at Leader Kong's room and knocked on the door. Leader Kong, are you in there? But there was no answer. Wait, are you okay? I knocked again. Leader Kong! But still no answer. Wait, no, don't tell me she's not okay. Babe? Did she already go back without saying goodbye? I mean, considering all the guests were leaving earlier, Leader Kong might have gone back already. There were no shoes under the wooden floor, but I still couldn't give up. When I was about to pull the door to look inside the room, a servant girl screamed from the back. Huh? What are you? Who are you? No! I'm not doing anything weird. The servant girl was still startled even after I made an excuse. She must have thought I was some weird scoundrel who tried to get into a woman's room without permission to do something naughty. That's right, because I'm still disguised as a dude. It's not like that. Did you happen to see the guest who was using this room left? She was the only woman who was invited to this house. Huh? She left earlier. Her servant came. Aww. She went to the back door to meet them. The servant girl looked back and pointed at the door and picked up the laundry basket that she dropped earlier out of surprise. I awkwardly said bye and passed by her. The back door she told me was leading towards the forest again. All three sides of the house except for the front door were leading towards the forest. But outside the back door was low and flat, unlike the road the assailant ran away. There were lots of trees and bushes, but the road was cleared. I kept walking along the road, looking down at the road. After walking a while, I stopped. Load everything. I heard Leader Kong's voice from the distance. What should I do? Peep at her? Go back? Both of these choices are awkward. I'm gonna peep at her. I wish the phrasing wasn't so weird. I ducked down and hid behind the bushes. As I widened the gap in the bushes with my finger and made a little crack, I could see Leader Kong standing in front of the wagon. We have 2 storages of Western paintings and antiques, so it's a lot. Hurry. What I saw was dozens of workers carrying Western paintings and antiques on the wagon under Leader Kong's command. From ceramics from China to an inkstone from Han, a folding screen with old paintings, dishes, and books. All kinds of ancient antiques were loaded on the wagon. It was all from Huang Pao Guang's house. Okay, there's gotta be a reason for this. She wouldn't just steal, would she? Why is Leader Kong moving all the antiques Huang Pao Guang was collecting when he was alive? We haven't figured out how he died clearly, and the family didn't even have a funeral. She was moving his belongings as if the family already wrapped everything up. Even though Huang Pao Guang left the will saying that he's leaving all the antiques to Leader Kong, she wouldn't be able to get it today. Wait, okay, so she's supposed to have this stuff, but she's getting it early? Okay, now I'm a little worried. Babe? Then someone in the house must have given everything in the house to Leader Kong. I'm hoping it's the son, otherwise this looks really bad for you, love. Someone who could do that kind of thing. And the reason that person was giving all the things in the house to Leader Kong, suddenly I got chills on my arms and I ended up sinking down. Just then, I heard rustling from behind. I started to freeze with the chill on my body. Oh shit! Wait, who? As soon as I looked back, I caught eyes with someone who was holding a bat high up over his head. What? Ah! The bat smashed the exact spot I was sitting on. My liver sank down. Okay, I'm being brutally murdered. I was looking at the dented spot in the ground and looked up. Butler Zheng? What? I've never even seen you before. I've only ever heard about you, and now you're trying to, like, smack me with a fucking bat? Babe, your butler tried to kill me! How would Leader Kong's old servant do this to me? I froze at this inexplicable situation. Yurin, you owe me an explanation. Like a lot. I still love you, but what the fuck? It was Butler Zhang. We got that the first time, who I met several times when I visited Songbong, that swung the bat at me. Ah, oh my. You're not gonna get me to read the word like that. No, too fucking weird. Oh my gosh. Bitch, why? I couldn't help but scream. I'm not gonna do it again. Soon I heard people running from the other side, and Leader Kong pushed through the bushes with their elbow and showed up in front of me. Mr. Hisu. Hello. You have some explaining to do. Like a lot. Like right now. Leader Kong looked back and forth at me and Butler Zhang with a very flustered face that I haven't seen before. Leader Kong looked at Butler Zhang with a scary and reprimanding face. But I don't know what kind of reprimanding it was exactly. Yeah, like, he just tried to, like, bludgeon me. And, what? Presumably under your orders because he's your servant. No, if I think more, I think I could find out right away what that meant. I was so scared that even my liver sank down around with my heart. Again. So Leader Kong carried me on her back and hurried to Hanyang. Okay, normally I'd be like, oh, wow, hot. She's so strong that she picked me up and carried me away. Like, that's so adorable, my darling protective lover. But I'm still upset that her servant tried to kill me. It was that day that I lost my liver. What the fuck? Leader Kong took me to Hanyang and took care of me so well. The liver of the hare? Okay, it's been a minute since we collected a term. Korean folktale. It's about a hare's liver, which is also known as panachea. You can read the full story from the link below. So this is the hare's liver tale that they were talking about, this thing right here. The hare basically tricks the Dragon King in order to save his own life so that he gets to keep his liver somehow. I'm sure we'll figure out how that factors in here, but as of right now, I have no clue. You calling me a rabbit? Okay, so apparently she's taking care of me. Am I at an ending? The music is very somber. She even washed the liver that had fallen out of my body and hung it dry on a tree, but now I don't have a liver. Wait, what? That's not how that... Hold on. Can a liver fall out? Okay, so the answer is no. According to the internet, this can't happen. Sure, fine. I can't detoxify well and I get easily tired. Since I don't have a liver, I get surprised by a tiny little sound and all the little things. I ended up having to quit Zhenghuso. I had nowhere to go, and Leader Kong was kind enough to take me to her songbong. What the fuck? This is an ending? Is this an ending? This feels like an ending, but also what? Mr. Hisu. Ugh. And now I'm living a sad life, being surprised every time someone opens the door. Did you get surprised again? As much as I'm glad to be with you... What? Huh? Why was I wandering around without Woo-sung or Juhi that day? If I can go back in time, I'm gonna eat a lot of meat, work a lot for my body, make muscle on my chest to protect my liver. Or I really wouldn't wander around alone. Okay, game, I get it. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. We'll head back to that choice in a minute. What? What? The liver of the hare. What the fuck? What the fuck? No, we're doing that again. What the hell was that? I knew that was weird the second she went, let me hang your liver up to dry. Okay, we're back. Lesson learned. I don't know why I would keep chasing because I'm being literally zero help. But okay. But also, that still doesn't explain why her butler tried to kill me and why it looks like she's stealing. Fine, we'll keep chasing. I mean, it was kind of a nice ending. We still ended up together in the sense that she was basically taking care of me. But I want my romance. I want my sweet, sweet romance with my strong lady. We're gonna keep chasing for some reason. Let's just keep chasing them. I'm behind. Hisu, you better pick up your feet. I don't think I can get any information anyway when I go back since they're all so distracted now. So I just leaned against the tree and caught my breath. That's not continuing to chase. That's resting. But since it was all muddy and there was sticky resin on the tree and even wild berries were popped and dyed my clothes, I couldn't even take a breath standing up. Ew. Stop. Stop there. Yeah, a load of good that's gonna do, Hisu. So I started to yell at the thief and almost crawl up the mountain again. Yeah, because the thief's gonna stop for you. There was a clamor from when Juhi and Woo-sung were, and that sound started to get closer. When I got surprised and looked up, I caught eyes with that assailant in black clothes who was coming down the mountain road again. If it's lgbtq, after all that shit I just went through, I'm gonna be mad. Alright, let's go! Weird theme. Woo-sung and Juhi waved their hands, chasing down the assailant. Get them! You should get them. There's only one way down the road. Okay? Sure. No, move the fuck aside. What if they're holding a weapon? Move aside. Juhi and Woo-sung were chasing them around from the back, and I was coming up on the front. The assailants seemed flustered when they got stuck in the middle, but they didn't slow down. Oh, we're like blocking them off on all sides. Okay, well how was I supposed to come to that conclusion when I'm like, I'm tired. Okay, whatever, fine, let's get them. Woo-sung seemed to worry about me and started sliding down the road at scary speed like a bull. Holy shit, bro. You're not going anywhere. Not after all the shit I just went through. And as soon as I opened my arms and closed my eyes, the assailant's shoulder bumped the right side of my body. Since he was running down with fast speed, I almost flew in the air. Okay, music, let's go! I was falling on my back without knowing what the hell happened. I'm gonna die like this. And at that short moment, a hand popped out and grabbed me. Brother, no, get him! Don't worry about me, go get him! Woo-sung pulled me towards his side and fell down on the other side. Okay, Juhi, it's up to you now. Music stopped. Why? I was so dumbfounded that I couldn't get up for a while. When I managed to get up, the mysterious assailant was already down the mountain. God damn it! I think the assailant dropped the cup when they bumped into me. The tin cup was stuck in the vines right next to where I fell down. Oh great, we have a cup. That's not a person! They were too busy running away to get the cup back after dropping it. How dare you try to remove the evidence? What? Oh, to the thief. I thought you were talking to me. I was about to be like, I know you yell at me for no reason a lot, but come on. Juhi picked up the tin cup and hid it under her skirt. Why? Just hold it. Who are you hiding it from? And then she slapped my shoulder. I told you to get him, not get hit by him. I was worried about you too, Juhi. You could have been hurt so bad. I am already hurt so bad on so many levels, you have no idea. I threw up my liver the other time. Okay. Heh. When we came back, Hwang Pa Guang's house was so disturbed like a beehive poked by someone. Wait, what? The music is a little more chill now? Wait, this dialogue is the same. We saw the other lines of dialogue before. This is new. So basically, the stuff that repeated was the place was being poked by beehive and then an assailant where blah 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 blah. And now we're going to the kitchen. So this is new. I hope we're okay. I'm not okay mentally, but we're not going to deal with that right now. And when we arrived at the kitchen, Mrs. Hwang, who almost fainted after seeing the assailant, came running towards us. I heard there was a thief, an assailant. Yes, I got hit by him. I think they broke in to steal the cup. We should see if they took more things from this house. It would be a big problem if that thief stole more things. Mrs. Hwang was so pale and sweating as she almost fainted earlier. She was staggering, but she brought her servants to the kitchen to see if there were any other things stolen. When I was looking at the back of Mrs. Hwang, opening the kitchen and getting inside, I heard the servants running, and Hai Nyan and Gopshoy came to us. Oh, you changed your outfit. Is it true that you went after the thief? Did you get hurt? Yes, on so many levels. Hai Nyan quickly looked up and down at Woo-sung and looked down. Aww, I can't be too mad. This romance is cute. Servants' quarter. We have another term. Servants' quarter. In some big mansions in Chosun, there were separate houses for servants. Usually the house right next to the gate was for servants and nobis. Yeah, cause like, that's the most high-risk spot if somebody's like gonna try to break in through the front door. Hai Nyan seemed to change her clothes in the meantime since her clothes were different colors than earlier. I could have seen that for myself, game, but okay. Gopshoy was holding a bat next to her. It seemed like he was at the servants' quarter trying to catch a thief. If that thief comes back again, I'll get him. Sure. Then Hwang Zhongnam, who was searching through the house with anger, came straight to us. Was there really an assailant? For real? Yes! He hurt me! A lot! Yes. But what you said earlier when your wife fainted was a little weird. You yelled at Hai Nyan that there was no footprint on the floor and there was no assailant. Am I right? Ugh. Hwang Zhongnam shook his head and bit his lips. How would I know that there is a real assailant? What's the big deal about it? Your father's dead, dumbass! Hwang Zhongnam got blushed and stamped on his feet. He was holding several bunches of keys. I think he was about to search through all the rooms in the house where he heard there was a thief. He was looking at us with his sleeves rolled up and then rolled down his sleeves. So, what did the thief steal? It was this tin cup. This is not tin. It's glass, but Shut up, let me have this. When I showed the cup, giving a sign to Juhi with my eyes, Hwang Zhongnam bit his lips. Ow, why? Why is that your game? Pick a different alert sound that hurts. This so-called, oh Jesus name I can't say. That dude's cup. Yes, we're still going with that. It's washed clean with the water now, but it made its owner die last night. Sure. And someone tried to steal this very cup today. What would that mean? Now Hwang Zhongnam couldn't deny it anymore that someone must have killed Hwang Paul Guang with this cup. Okay. I think we're fine now, but apparently Leader Kong is gone, which is upsetting. We were sitting on the floor near the kitchen where we served meals. We hadn't eaten anything since the morning since we were so busy. But now I don't think we could even feel the taste of food. Hey, be glad you still have your liver, Hisu. All the food was so cold and it was a little leery since it was so obvious that these were the leftover food from last night. Woo-sung suffered every time he took a bite, doubting if it was poisoned, and then just ended up giving up eating the food at all. Juhi ate the newly made rice and soy sauce a little with elegance, and then pulled out the tin cup and started to look into it again. And Hainyan, who came to clear the table, bought us the rest of the tin cups as we asked her to do earlier. Here are the rest of the cups you asked. Hainyan carefully unwrapped the cloth and put out the rest of the tin cups. Ow! Then she almost ran back to the kitchen. While I got the cups from Juhi and started looking into the cups again, Woo-sung kept giving a sigh. It's so frustrating since there's no poison anywhere. Unless Leader Kong's binyo had a problem, there wasn't any poison at all. And now we can't even examine again since they washed all the cups already. Then what if Leader Kong's binyo was not a proper silver binyo? Juhi? Best friend, you read my mind. Leader Kong could have manipulated it easily. Okay, never mind. She's using it as a way to suspect my lady. And Juhi suspected Leader Kong. She seems adamant, which means she wasn't just saying it because she doesn't like her. Yeah, but it's still part of it. She was serious. Well, yeah, so was I. She wouldn't get anything from it, though. There's no reason for her to do that. Plus, I think I kind of know who's the suspect. What? And at some point, I stopped rolling the cup. The cup with the jade on it seemed a little light. It's not just a psychological thing. It really felt a little lighter. Miss Juhi, hold these 2 cups and close your eyes. Other 3 cups and this cup. Isn't the weight different? The weight is different. Juhi got surprised and held the cups. Then after touching it for a while, she shook her head. I don't know. It feels the same. I don't know either. Woo-sung held the cups as well, but he also shook his head. And it was clear that there was nothing weird on the appearance of the cups no matter how hard I look. Even though one cup felt a little lighter, it's not like there's empty space in the middle, or that it sounds different when I tap it, or the color is different. The only difference is that the cup with the jade on it was a little blurrier inside since it was used a lot. And that was it. But it would be better if I could measure it with an accurate scale. Then Hainyan came back again and I raised my hand. You, Hainyan. Come here. What is it, sir? Is there a pair of scales in this house? Your master used to love to collect things. I bet he would have measured weights a lot with the scale. You want me to secretly bring another thing from the house again? I think it's pretty clear that we're on this case at this point. Just bring the fucking scales, come on. You should ask permission from the master. The master's too busy being a little bitch. Just bring the scales. Hainyan seemed flustered but couldn't refuse it. And she kept looking at Woo-sung as if she was asking for help. Oh, I hope it works out with those 2. But Woo-sung was already talking about something else. Just as clueless as I am. What if he had metals? I heard a guy who ate metals too much working at a smithy and died. Maybe he used that cup for too long and the pieces of the cup had built up inside his body. That's almost as dumb as my liver jumping out of my body. I don't think so. Tin purifies the water. It's no harm to eat a little tin. Purify? Yes. That's why they say you shouldn't pour medicinal herbs into a tin cup. Because it purifies the medicinal effect as well. Then it doesn't really matter. Hainyan looked back and forth at Woo-sung and Juhi as if they were talking some weird nonsense. Well, they were, and then went back down to the low wooden floor to get a scale. She seemed to find them very ridiculous, clicking her tongue. I knew it! And then I finally screamed. I've been doing a lot of screaming today. And yesterday, actually. Juhi and Woo-sung looked at me with a curious look. I knew it. That's what happened. Huh? Did you find out something? It's done. I'm gonna reveal the suspect right now. Wait, what? I don't know who it is. Hisu! I'm gonna need some more info, babe. Okay, fine, don't give it to me. I'm still worried about literally seeing Leader Kong look sketchy as hell though, and the almost murder. We're just not gonna revisit that? Okay. What? Why did he ask everyone in this house to come? Because that's what I do. I gather people in a yard and I cause suspense and then I point my fingers all weird. Huang Zhongnong looked around at the people nervously and got mad. It's of course that he got anxious since I gathered people saying I found out the suspect. The master is definitely killed. Yeah, we got that. I got the suspect and the weapon. I don't! As I declared, Huang Zhongnong got so flustered and looked around. That doesn't look good for you, bud. All of the servants and some of the guests started to rumble, and Huang Zhongnong kept swinging his fists, not knowing what to do. Let me ask you first. Who do you think is the suspect? Huang Zhongnong flinched his eyebrows for a while and then pointed at Gobshoy without any hesitation. I think it's him. His eyes are fierce usually. I can't say it out loud here, but he had enough reasons to hurt my father. What? What are you talking about? How could you do this to me? And he made the liquor my father drank last night all by himself. I'm sure he sold the expensive ingredients I gave him to make the liquor with and made the liquor out of some crappy ingredients. Who knows what he put in the liquor? Gobshoy stamped on his feet, pounding his chest and shook his head at me. No, this is unfair. Then who do you think hurt your master, Gobshoy? Of course, the young master. The master had a lot of heat on his body. The young master asked me to make ginseng liquor. You really think I wouldn't know that you've served him the food that's highly incompatible with each other, which can be poison to him? As Gobshoy put himself against Huang, Huang came at him and tried to beat him again. As Wusung managed to separate them, Gobshoy shook his head and got mad again. Also, Han Yun. What did she... Okay, I don't want to rule anyone out, but it doesn't feel that way. She's a little weird too. You're all a little weird. She's been weird for 2 days and she was hiding in the kitchen. And she was holding the master's cup. She's a servant. She's supposed to be doing that. Goodness, who are you accusing? I've been helping these gentlemen for days. This is so unfair, sir. Also, Mrs. Huang was the one who carried the drink. Is it that wrong that I was holding the cup for a while? If I'm guilty for that reason, then Mrs. Huang should be responsible too. How rude. How dare you? What? How dare you try to frame your mistress? These voices are inconsistent. Honestly, I've only done things that Mrs. Huang asked me to do. Mrs. Huang's face became so pale that she was about to faint again. Huang Zhongnong didn't know what to do but grabbed his wife's shoulders and looked at me. What are you doing? Are you trying to insult me in front of these people? No. I'm actually doing the opposite. Everyone except for these 4 people should step back, please. But why? Because the suspect is one of you, idiot. Han Yan freaked out and started shaking her head, and Gobshoy didn't know what to do either. Huang Zhongnong and his wife got dumbfounded and dropped their jaws as well. I think they deserve to know who's the real killer first since they've been suspected as a killer for a few days. Other people would just be spectators. So I'll tell you who the real suspect is when everyone else leaves this yard except for the 4 of you. Huang Zhongnong got flustered a lot and led his servants and guests out of the yard. Soon there were only those 4 people, me, Wusung, and Juhi, and a couple of old servants left in the yard. I tapped the fan with my hand and waited for the yard to be completely quiet. The owner of the house, Huang Zhongnong, who kept interrupting me and insisted there's no suspect. Mrs. Huang, who suddenly saw an assailant and fainted. Well, the assailant was real. Han Yan, who followed us all day and did a favor for us. Gobshoy, who had followed us and had reason to hurt the master, according to Huang Zhongnong. The suspect is... ah, shit. Wait a minute. I think out of all of these 4, and then the assailant is a suspect. No way. A suspect is you, Han Yan. What? How am I the suspect? I've been watching you, and you really don't like the missus here. Also, when you were talking to me this morning, you frowned with an anxious face when she nagged you. Also, your shoulders seem stiff, which means you have a lot of oppressed feelings. And your forehead is frowned, which means you are holding a lot of grudge in you. What, are you reading my face or something? Yes, it's kind of my job. Han Yan pounded her chest and shook her head. I think you just don't like your masters overall. When I looked at you serving your mistress, I can see you've been holding a lot of grudge against Huang Pa Guang as well. That's your motive, and... When I was saying that, Han Yan suddenly got mad. This is ridiculous. Admit that some of the things you said make sense. Yes, it's true that I don't like Mrs. Huang, but I had no problem with the master. I hate Mrs. Huang because... Because? Mrs. Huang suddenly kissed me on the lip like a guy 5 years ago and came to me every night for a month, and then suddenly changed. Wait, what? How old were you when that happened? Because depending on how old you are, this could be a lot worse. Han Yan said something very scandalous and started crying out loud. Mrs. Mrs. Huang got blushed and didn't know what to do. Wait, it's true? Hainyang was wiping her tears off with her hands, sitting down on the ground. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, did you have feelings for her? Ah, shit. Wait, how old were you? Because I still take issue with that. What? And why did you give snacks to Woo-sung? I thought it would draw her attention if it started to cling to a guy. Hainyang started to cry even louder, and Huang Zhangnan got really furious and pushed my shoulders. What the hell? Are you trying to ruin our family? No, I'm just solving a case. I didn't know that your mistress and your servant were having an affair. Well, I think I was wrong? No, Hainyang wasn't the suspect, but I found out some very interesting information. She doesn't have a motive or anything else. Yes, she does. Yes, she does! The real suspect is Mrs. Huang, maybe? The real suspect is you, Mrs. Huang. Mrs. Huang turned pale and looked at me, but she couldn't say anything. Why would I kill my father-in-law? Why are you framing me? I'm not framing you. When I met you earlier, you basically confessed that you were the suspect. Mrs. Huang got suspicious and started looking around. I started getting suspicious about her. Oh, so she is the suspect. Okay, I am confused. Maybe because she checked to see if anything else was stolen? That was the moment. When I came back after chasing the assailant, Mrs. Huang, who would have been passed out until a while ago, suddenly ran towards me in sweats. Oh, that's right. I heard there was a thief, an assailant. Yes. Oh, God. Oh, I would have figured this out a lot sooner if I had noticed that. She said she heard. Meaning she told me that after. Oh my God. Okay. I think I got my head on straight now. Yes, I think they broke in to steal the cup. We should see if they took more things from this house. Then Mrs. Huang staggered and headed straight towards the kitchen where the door was closed. When I came back after chasing the thief, all the other people reacted the same way. Gapshui was wandering around the servants' quarters and Hainyun didn't know what to do. And Huang Zhangnan was holding all the keys and tried to look into all the storages. And what about it? That's because when I chased the thief, I only shouted thief, get the thief, so all the people in the house didn't know that that thief stole and just wandered around the house. But you said you would go see if there are any other things stolen and headed straight to the kitchen. You knew what was missing. No, you told me the cup was stolen, so I just guessed, that's all. I never told you what kind of cup it was. Ugh. Also, you're the missus of this wealthy family. You must have seen a thief before. When people hear that there was a thief, they would automatically think the most expensive thing in the house would have been stolen. I'm gonna let Hisu take the reins on this one because I would not have figured this out. I heard from Hainyun that there are hundreds of more expensive cups in this house. But how did you guess that the thief would steal that tin cup from the kitchen? Not the whole set, but just that one tin cup. Mrs. Huang couldn't answer and kept twisting her skirt. Of all the storages in this house, the thief would break the lock of the kitchen in the corner and steal the old cup that was in the dishwashing bowl? How did you come up with all these at once? Wife. I'll tell you what happened. Mrs. Huang killed her father-in-law somehow with that cup. And the next day she was worried that someone might find out about this critical evidence, so she wanted to get rid of this cup. But then there were too many guests in the house and I was wandering around the kitchen too much, so he didn't have a chance to do that. So he ended up pretending to faint and making up the assailant who never existed. Oh. Alright, I'll take your word for it. Then you dressed up like an assailant, stole the cup, and ran away. Sure. You must have been familiar with the mountain road already since this mountain is yours. I mean, she does match the build, so maybe? And when you came back home, you changed into the skirt and acted like you were distracted amongst other servants to avoid the suspicion. Whatever you say, I'm not the suspect. Do you have any evidence? It's just all your imagination. There's no evidence at all. It's all coincidence that I went to the kitchen. Everything happened coincidentally. You can't frame me without any evidence. I was lounging down in my room all day and went to the yard for the first time today. Tuck up your skirt. No, I know this. No, I get it, buddy. I know it sounds gross, but do it. Are you harassing my wife? You don't have to tuck up much. Just a little. Mrs. Huang couldn't tuck her skirt up. Huang Shamnan waited for a little and then he tucked up the skirt himself. And the socks dyed red from the wild berries appeared before everyone's eyes. There's your evidence. You could change your clothes, but you didn't have enough time to change your socks when all the servants were chasing the thief. How did your socks get dirty when you haven't even been to the mountain? Then Mrs. Huang stopped making excuses and lowered her head, grabbing her skirt. She was staggering, and after stepping back for a couple of steps, she covered her face. I don't know what happened. What are you talking about? What is happening? Did you poison him? Did you really put poison on the drink that my father was drinking? I didn't. I swear I never put poison on your father's drink. Mrs. Huang rubbed her chest and shook her head for a while and then finally started to tell us a story. I had a lot of fights with my father-in-law with all the small things. I especially had some trouble over his Western paintings and antique collection. This house looked fine, but we're actually running out of money. My father-in-law got scammed by all kinds of brokers and bought all the Western paintings and antiques whenever he had some money. He filled 5 storages with that garbage, and my husband and I are so tired of it. She's right about that. My father was too much about collecting those things. I suggested that he sell some Western paintings or antique, but he refused. His logic was that he bought this stuff for 40 nyong, but he could only get 2 nyong when he sells it back, so it's better not to sell it at all. But nothing he bought went up in price at all, so it was all just a bunch of garbage. Wang Xiaonan gave a sigh after saying that, but he knew that that's not the reason for his wife to kill his father. He took a glance at his wife and lowered his head. Moreover, my father-in-law was not going to leave anything to us except for this house. All that he cared about was his second son. He was going to give all the money to him, and he really didn't care about us who he was living with. My husband and I were just gatekeepers who kept his collection safe. Then Mrs. Huang bit her lips, held her breath and looked up. Okay, then how did you kill him? Then one day some person, or a ghost, what? Someone who I couldn't even tell if that was a woman or a man came and offered me that they could fix my father's collectomania. What? Wang Xiaonan raised his voice as if it's his first time hearing about this as well. Wait, what are you talking about? Tell us more details. He gave me the cup that she's holding right now. Mrs. Huang hurriedly pointed at the cup that Juhi was holding. The cup that looked exactly like the cup Huang Pa Guang was using. A mysterious figure took the set of those cups and only replaced Huang Pa Guang's cup with something else. That person said if I serve my father-in-law with the cup they gave me every morning and night, he will not collect the Western paintings or antique anymore. So, you didn't mean to. Oh. And they said when my father-in-law stops collecting those things, then I should give them all the collection to them in return. Wait a minute. Wait. In the other ending, we see Leader Kong loading these up. And I did clear... Okay, this was like ages ago, so I don't blame you for not remembering it. But the reason Leader Kong and I are so close, like with our backstory, is that I cleared her name from murder. Did she actually kill someone back then? And this is just a repeat? And you took the deal? Yes. Those were all such cheap garbage that can't even be sold according to my father-in-law, so I took the deal. So, how long have you been serving drink on that cup to him? It's been about half a year. I served him the drink every morning and night as the ghost told me to do, but then my father-in-law started to become weird. He couldn't remember well and he felt distracted. And he kept asking me to serve him drinks from that cup every day. He kept wanting to have a drink on that cup. He wasn't normal. I was so scared. That cup was possessed. I had nowhere to tell about this, and he kept wanting the drink as if he was possessed. Wait, what kind of magic voodoo? Okay. Mrs. Huang was crying again. What is this cup? Did I get possessed? Did I make a mistake and make a deal with a ghost? What? She wiped the tears and said she got so scared that she couldn't even sleep at night. Oh, that was her talking. Italics, come on. I was so scared that I stopped once. I felt like he was going to die if I kept serving him drinks in that cup. Mrs. Huang looked so scared and shook her head at the cup Juhi's holding. At this point, Juhi seemed to start to get scared. She didn't know what to do about the cup and just handed it over to Wusung. But Wusung screamed as well and threw the cup away. Ugh! I walked towards it and grabbed the cup with my hand. He really loved using this cup, huh? Yes, and then he started to get better and came to senses for a while. But as soon as he got better, he only wanted to spend time with his second son. He said he doesn't know how long he would live, so he has to spend more time with his second son. He said he thinks he's going to die soon, and he has to live with his second son in Hanyang. Wang Xiaonan ground his teeth and interrupted. Plus, my father had kept insisting on selling the house in his hometown to buy a house with multiple rooms in Hanyang. He wanted to sell the house that was inherited through generations. That was not a common thing at all. Even though he was just a translator, when a famous figure lived in one village for a long enough time, the house itself can have the legitimacy of the family. And that was the first son's right to inherit that house. He told me to buy a new house and move out since he wants to sell this house. I told him he could just sell those garbage Western paintings or antiques, and it's not worth selling the house that's been inherited for generations. But no matter what I told him, he didn't listen, goddammit. My father-in-law cried every night like a child and called us undutiful children. I felt like he's going to do something really bad. Could have at least gotten this house if I hadn't done anything, but because I used this possessed cup, things got so much worse. It was already too late when I regretted it. Mrs. Huang couldn't continue for a while. Then I thought of what that mysterious person said at the end. They said if I ever got tired of serving him the drink every morning and night, I can just boil the drink in this cup and serve him. Oh. But it's been a while that I haven't given him the drink, and I couldn't find the chance to serve him the drink. And then his birthday was coming up, so I boiled the drink. But then when he drank it, he coughed up the blood and died. I didn't have to hear more about the rest of the story. This woman really didn't know what's going to happen and served the drink with a half-doubtful mind. She must have freaked out when her father-in-law died and shocked again when the poison wasn't detected on the cup. She must have been freaking out by now. She would have thought that the cup was really possessed because a person just got poisoned to death without the poison. It would have been more and more insane as she thought of it more. I don't know. That cup is possessed. Please don't blame me. It's the ghost. The ghost did it. Mrs. Huang started crying again, and Haiyan and Gavshoy were dumbfounded. Huang Xiaomnam just looked at the cup I was holding with a painful face. But still, how could you bring a possessed thing in this house? How could you? I'm so scared. Let's get rid of that cup right away. Please. What if another person dies because of that cup? I'm going to kill that ghost. Gavshoy came towards me and tried to take that cup away from me. I quickly stepped back and hid the cup. Get away from me. Did you just say a ghost? A ghost? How else are you going to explain this? My father's body is still soft. And there wasn't any poison in any cup, but he died like he was poisoned. Only a ghost can do this kind of thing. No. Only a human can do this kind of thing. Yeah, I was about to say, every world establishes a set of rules. Is there magic? Is there not? Is there supernatural or is there not? And this world has established very clearly that there is no supernatural, that we are grounded pretty much in realism. So it's not a ghost. Only a human can do this kind of thing. All the dumb or mean things are done by humans. This is not a ghost. This is a well-planned murder. What are you talking about? There's a secret in this cup. If you had taken a closer look at this cup, you could have seen how this cup has been changed. I've been looking at this cup from all the different angles all day. The only difference I could tell by my eyes was that there's the jade on the side and the inside was a little blurrier than other cups. And it was slightly heavier than other cups. Well, isn't that obvious? Since there's jade on it, of course it would be heavier than the other ones. We use this cup a lot, so that's why the inside was blurrier. That's what I thought initially too, but is that so? No, that's not it. I scratched Huang Pao Guang's cup and other cups on the stone stairs at the same time with a loud noise, and only Huang Pao Guang's cup had a scratch mark on it. When tin cups are made, they're usually mixed with a little bronze and become stronger and more solid. The real tin cup wouldn't have any scratch mark on it just because I scratched it like that on the floor. Also, the blurry side on the inside of the cup is a characteristic of a certain metal that creates a film when it's exposed to human air. It's really similar to tin, so it's hard to distinguish it with the eyes, and it's common to be mixed and manufactured. But unlike tin, you shouldn't put food on it. Wait a minute. I think I know what you're talking about. I'm gonna save just in case, and I don't know how you would get this unless you somehow knew this beforehand, but I know exactly what he's talking about. It's called lead poisoning for a reason. This looks like a tin cup, but it's not. It's a lead cup that has a lead on the bottom. Yeah, lead poisoning is an actual thing, and I remembered that because I've read about it somewhere before, like ages, like so long ago. Wait, what the hell? That came in handy? Lead. You can suffer from lead poisoning right away with just a spoonful of drink boiled in a lead cup. It causes brain malfunction, which leads to dementia, and it makes you keep wanting to drink something that has the lead in it since lead would taste sweet to you. Your father-in-law was already in a bad condition. It was impossible for him not to die when he drank the liquor that was boiled in a lead cup. Wait, what the heck? Previous knowledge actually saved my ass? Yo! Lead and tin are hard to distinguish with the eyes. No one would notice if one of those tin cups was switched to a lead cup. Everyone was so shocked. Lead used in chosen is exactly 1.85 times heavier than tin. This cup was slightly heavier than other cups, and it was because this one was made of lead. The equation to compare these weights are... Yeah, I was about to say, don't make me do math. I don't know that much. No, I get it. You don't have to explain more. Please, no. Stop. Please stop. I'm not even going to say there. Just stop. Even though you didn't know what this cup was made of, Mrs. Huang, it was your choice to boil the liquor in a tin cup and kill him. It's not like you were forced to do it. It was entirely your choice. Oh, we're still on this. Right. I still think it's accidental, though. You accidentally killed him this way, but you still wanted him dead. So I guess not really an accident at all. You stopped using that cup in the middle with your own will, and you could have completely stopped then. Your house was about to be sold, you were having a hard time because of Western paintings and antiques. Whatever the reason was, you were the one who boiled the liquor in the end. Hwang Zhongnam didn't say anything, but his wife still seemed to have more things to say. But I didn't know. I really didn't know, sir. Yeah, but you saw how badly it was affecting him, and you did it anyway. You can just not say anything, please? When the policemen come, we can just say it was an accident, and the poison wouldn't be detected anyway. No. I'm not going to jail if you can only keep this in secret, right? Stop it. Husband! Hwang Zhongnam went to storage, brought the rope, and tied up his wife's hands. What are you doing? Let's go and confess together. What? No, I don't want to. What about this house? I'm guilty of not knowing what you've been up to, so I'm going to ask them to punish me for not being dutiful to my parents. I'm asking you to confess together. If you think about it, the person who gave you the cup is the main suspect. Yeah, and the more that I think about it, and the more that I've seen from the other ending, I'm thinking that's Leader Kong, and I'm starting to feel like I didn't know her at all. We're just the accomplices. They're not going to execute us. Let's pay for our sins. Hwang Zhongnam didn't let his wife go, and the wife ended up giving up and stopped resisting after a while. Hwang Zhongnam headed to the government office with his wife and opened the gate with his hand. Then he suddenly called Gopshoy. You should arrange father's funeral. Understand? Sir. You son of a gun. Hwang Zhongnam got furious just like when we first saw him and went out of the house like nothing happened. The back of him walking on a lonely road seemed straight as always. We finally started to get ready to go back to Hanyang the next day. We got a couple of pairs of those straw shoes from Gopshoy and packed out stuff. It didn't take long. The house became completely quiet, and the servants who suddenly lost all their masters didn't know what to do. At least Huang Pao Guang's bastard Gopshoy left in the house, but no one knew when Hwang Zhongnam was going to come back. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. That was a roller coaster and a half. I think I'm going to leave this to next episode because, wow, that was heavy. And honestly, like, I'm a little worried now because the way Leader Kong and I got close, I was clearing her name from a murder charge. And then in this one, even though it was an alternate ending, we saw Leader Kong loading up all that stuff. And then the issue was that the guy was collecting. And then conveniently someone gave a cup that would poison the master gradually over time. And I'm so confused now, and now my feelings are really mixed up. So I'm gonna leave this for next time. So thank you so much, whoever happens to be watching this. Like, comment, subscribe if you're just as fucking confused as I am. Until next time, bye! Oh, babe, what did you do?